Death threats made against the lives of Trinidad and Tobago police. And in sport, West Indies fall behind in the 5-match ODI series against India. I'm Ricardo Roberts and this is Caribbean in 10 for Monday, October 29. I'll be back with the details after the break. Trinidad and Tobago's Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffiths, says death threats have been made against the lives of police officers involved in last week's shooting that left 5 people dead. But he warned that the police would not back down in the fight against crime in the Twin Islands Republic. A statement from the police service says investigations into the source of these threats are being conducted. Now, at the same time, lawmen are also investigating threats of bombs being planted at police stations across the country, following an anonymous call. Now, the statement said relevant agencies were activated following the call and police remain on high alert. Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police Anthony James has been assigned to lead investigations into the incident in Laventille last week, in which 5 people were fatally shot following a shootout with police officers. Police Commissioner Griffith, a former National Security Minister and a captain in the Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force, said criminals could not bully law-abiding citizens. Meanwhile, the small opposition movement of the Social Justice MSJ warned that the country could slowly descend into a police state. Leader David Abdullah said, quote, "We should not become so fearful of the crime situation or so angry about the crime and violence that we accept what could become a police state," end quote. He said while the MSJ is not condoning criminal activities or violence, a police state is not the solution. The United States is calling for officers implicated in the extrajudicial killings in St. Lucia a few years ago to be prosecuted. Now, the island's National Security Minister, Herman Guild Francis, attended a security meeting in Mexico and says he held talks with U.S. authorities, and in that discussion he was told that there must be prosecution. Francis says the only thing that the Americans will agree to is the prosecution of the officers regardless of actions already taken by the St. Lucia government. He was referring to the appointment of a Director of Public Prosecutions and communication to the American authorities on what is being done to address the issue. Francis added that the government would see how best prosecution can be done as expeditiously as possible. Earlier this year, Francis dismissed a claim by human rights lawyer Mary Francis that police officers implicated in the investigation into the Restore Confidence operation of 2010 to 2011, or the resultant report from CARICOM's Implementation Agency for Crime and Security Impacts, have been promoted. Now, the report followed a probe into allegations of 12 unlawful killings by police. And Jamaica's opposition leader Dr. Peter Phillips had lauded the Barbados government for biting the bullet and making tough decisions to get the ailing economy back on track. And he's predicting the Barbados Economic Recovery and Transition BERT program, which has received financial support from the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, will lead to the economic recovery of the Mia Mottley-led administration he's hoping for. Now, Phillips, who was finance minister when Jamaica engaged the IMF, praised the government for its willingness to tackle the country's economic issues head-on and gave some advice as he addressed the ruling Barbados Labour Party's 80th annual conference yesterday.
If you take the hard decisions early, if you stay the course, if you sustain your patience and your courage, you will achieve success. This is not a task for the faint-hearted, nor is it a task for the impatient. But I would say that with honesty and forthrightness and willingness to take the people into your confidence at every step of the way. They will walk with you and understand.
Stay with us. Your Midday Sport is next.
You are the most original. Anyway, you are the most original. Most original.
For the journey, thanks. For the journey, no negative could I ever return my life. Life is a I've been holding it down for you.
You could have been a prosecutor.
I started out of school and was in the prosecutor's office.
And what made you decide you wanted to represent the people?
I didn't like that situation. I felt it was weighted in large part. You know, don't take me wrong, it's a laudable profession, but I see it more and more increasingly weighted against certainly the poor in this country, the underprivileged.
India now lead the 5-match ODI series against West Indies 2-1 after they beat the Caribbean side by 224 runs in Mumbai today. Now, after winning the toss and electing to bat first, the host posted a mammoth 377 for 5 from their 50 overs. Opening batsman Rohit Sharma and Ambati Radu were instrumental in putting up India's huge total. They put on a 211-run partnership between them. Sharma scored 162 from 137 runs, while Radu was run out on 100. Fast bowler Kemar Roach picked up figures of 2 for 74 as the pick of the bowlers for the Windies. But left-arm pacer Khalil Ahmed and off-spinner Kuldeep Yadav tore into Windies' batting lineup in the reply, picking up 3 wickets each as the Windies capitulated on 153 in 36 overs. Captain Jason Holder was the only batsman who made a significant total with a half-century, while Kimo Paul chipped in with 19. And Lewis Hamilton finished outside the podium for only the 4th time this season as Red Bull's Max Verstappen dominated the Mexican Grand Prix yesterday, but he became the joint 2nd most successful driver of all time when he clinched the 2018 title and the 5th of a decorated career. His nemesis Sebastian Vettel finished 2nd, while the other Ferrari of Kimi Raikkonen rounded out the podium, now starting the race from 3rd on the grid and needing to finish 7th or higher to clinch the title. The 33-year-old Mercedes driver battled tire issues at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez before crossing the line to take his place in history alongside Argentinian Juan Manuel Fangio. Hamilton sits top of the standings on 358 points, with races remaining in Brazil and Abu Dhabi, while Vettel lies 2nd on 294 and Raikkonen 3rd on 236. Hamilton has now won 4 titles in the last 5 years, following his maiden success in 2008 when he was honored by the Grenada government for his achievement. And that's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.